morning. I appreciate it. Love seeing you. It's been a few days. I'm back from memorial services for Rick's mom and sister. It was really man, it was something else. It was something else. Carolyn had about 250 people from her retirement community who showed up to her memorial service. Um, our family was right there. Girls were passing out the programs to folks as they were coming in, uh, and it was just really a wonderful tribute to her. And then the next day, we had the interment of the ashes, Cindy's ashes, at the church, where her mom's ashes were interned as well. So a lot this weekend. I think Rick is exhausted. But a lot of the stuff we talk about on the program was at play. A lot of stuff was at play. I have an example of, just folks not getting along, and family members, and just not judging them. I had an opportunity to go up and give a big hug to someone who was hurting pretty badly. And I could have been in a different space. And I was like, no, no, they are us. They are us. They are us. So every moment we have this opportunity to create something new, to make choices. And here you go. One of my favorite slides right here. Where did you find that? I've been looking for it everywhere. I created it myself. Happiness. That's one of my favorite ones. There you go. We have that power. We have that power. We have that power to create sunshine if we want to. But it was a much different experience, I think, than it would have been a couple years ago. Some folks have grown, and folks are making different choices, and that's a good thing. Still not perfect. It's practice. It's practice. There was triggers all over the place. But then you just you keep trying to make the next right choice. That was my experience. Thought I'd share it with you. As you know, we are kind of going through. We are going through the 101 Ways to Transform Your Life by Dr. Wayne Dyer, who is an incredible man who has passed away. He left us some fantastic books and videos. This is one of the most impactful things he left for me. I've used it. I've been listening to this for a very long time. Well, really since the pandemic started. I started listening to it a couple times a week. It really helped influence some of the things I talk about in the practice. And it has reprogrammed my brain. Some of these thoughts come up instead of other ones, more toxic thoughts from the past, right? And they kind of crowd out these thoughts as we repeat them, crowd out some of the other stuff that were programmed in our brains when we had some bad experiences, maybe in the past, or whatever happened in the past, or what we learned, things that we learned that aren't working anymore. It's time to let those go. Put this stuff in instead. I'll give you a couple more today. Let's start with make a daily effort to look upon others without condemnation. Every judgment takes you away from your goal of peace. Keep in mind that you do not define anyone with your judgment. You only define yourself as someone who needs to judge. All right. That one has shown up so far, probably in different ways, several times in the first third of this 101 Ways to Transform Your Life. And that whole thing about judgments, like who are we to judge? When we judge, we become the judger. And there's a lot of stuff behind that, right? So trying not to, letting go of that, not condemning others, and just letting them be as they are. I love it. I love that one. Next one, give yourself the gift of a silent retreat every day. Even if it is only for a few moments, go back to that key of higher awareness, shutting down the inner dialogue, and know that this is your ticket to peace. This is a good one too. Every now and then, a couple times a day, take a nice deep breath. Remember who you are. Remember who you are. Remember your values. Remember your superpower. Ask yourself if you're centered in your values in that moment. Ask yourself if you're being your best self in that moment. Asking yourself if you're leading with love, if you're using the golden rule, and if you're trying to do the next right thing. And just take a nice, deep breath. I love that one. I love that one too. And our third one for today, notice the acts of kindness that other people do. Rather than their wrongdoing, we are all good, decent, loving souls, but we occasionally get lost. When you can focus on the good in another and hold that in your mind, you are acting from your higher self. How many times have we talked about this one, right? They are us, they are us, they are us. Look for the good, look for the light in each other. My God, we talk about it every day in the practice. But give that person room to grow. Look for their highest potential. Connect with the good instead of focusing on what you don't like. Instead of judging. Again, lots of common theme in this stuff. I think it is one of the most key components to living a happier life. Is when we kind of don't judge others. Guess who else we don't tend to judge, and that's ourselves. And I think oftentimes when I am judging somebody else, there's a judgment inside of myself taking place, and that whole judgmental attitude, I turn it on myself, and it ain't healthy. So that same grace that we give others, give to ourselves, let it go, let it be. We can't change anything. We can only change what we do in the moment. We can only make that choice in the moment. There we go. 3 more for you today. 3 more good ones. We're a third of the way through. I love this. We're gonna just keep it at it. We're gonna keep going. I do have Troy back on Wednesday for his interview finally, um, and that'll be great. I promise you. And we'll keep working through these. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Remember, even when it's really damn cloudy out, the sun is always shining. And guess what? You're the sunshine, right? That's the whole secret of the whole thing. You spread some, others will too. All right. Have a good one. Take care.